this is Lisa Louise Cook from the Genealogy Gems podcast, and I'm here today for Family History Expos TV. And I'm very happy to welcome to the show today Evva Benson. She's an accredited genealogist and teaching some classes here at the Family History Expo. Welcome, Evva.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And here is in Redding, California, the first Family History Expo in the Northern California area, and it seems like it's been going really well. There's just been a wonderful energy going on, I think, with all the students.
Yeah, I've taught 2 classes so far today, and they've asked questions and been interested and been very gracious. So
wonderful. Now, I know that you work at the Family History Library. Is that correct?
That's correct. I work at the Family History Library in Salt Lake City.
Wonderful. And in the kind of international area, kind of Ireland, England, Wales, that type of thing, is that the nature of the classes that you're doing here?
Yes. This morning I taught 2 Irish classes, and then this afternoon I'm teaching 2 English and Welsh research classes. So
I would imagine that, I know for myself and probably many of you watching, Irish, seems like everybody's got a touch of Irish there to deal with. Did you have a good turnout for your class?
Yes, we did, and especially the internet class. That always brings more people out.
And that kind of brought a question to mind as I was looking through your classes on the syllabus is there more happening in the area of online Irish research? I know, we all heard the stories about, the courthouse burned down, there's nothing available, but I've seen some new websites coming out, and tell us a little bit about what we can find and what you talked about in your class.
That's a great question. The first thing I tell people in my classes is that not all the records were destroyed.
Right.
And in fact, it was just, I think, October 2 years ago that the brsgenealogy.com website went up online. And that was really big in Irish research because each county has a family, what's called a heritage center, that has indexed the Catholic records and sometimes the Protestant records as well for their county. Mm-hmm. And but it wasn't until just a couple of years ago that they started putting those up online. And now I would say 2/3 of the counties have something online through that website. And so that was a major breakthrough for Irish genealogists. And then just like every other country, things have been going online. Family Search, Record Search Pilot has put up the indexes to Irish civil registration.
Oh,
that started in 1845 for Protestant marriages, in 1864 for all marriages, for births and for deaths. And so you can go on there now and get the index, and then you can order the certificate if you need to.
That's terrific. I know with the online site, one of the advantages to that is that I've heard that you kind of almost have to be a local in a particular area of Ireland to really understand how the names are understood and how records were retained, and they have local people transcribing those records and creating those indexes. So that's a big advantage versus somebody who's across the ocean.
That's true.
Trying to interpret them all by ourselves.
Yeah, that is one advantage of the brsgenealogy.com website. It was originally created by Irish people, so they knew the names and they knew the places, and so they did. It was done by young people. Some of the original indexes is kind of like a work project, but they still had that familiarity, and that's a really good point that you bring up. And same thing with the Family Search. All the indexing that's done by that shows up on pilot.familysearch.org is done by volunteers who are familiar with the area and are excited about doing the records. So.
Yeah, and isn't it true that many of the volunteers, do they get opportunities to kind of determine where they would like, what areas?
Yes.
So they're typically people who are interested in Irish research,
yeah,
right?
They get to pick their projects. You can go in on FamilySearchIndexing.org and pick, register and pick which projects you want to do. And in fact, there are even opportunities for people if you want to do Spanish projects, if you speak Spanish or German or other things are coming online.
So you almost get to have a little bit of a sneak peek as well.
Yes.
Some of those records as you're working on them.
Yeah, exactly. What's coming next on Pilot, you see on indexing, because that's the feed. It's thanks to all the volunteers who do all the work on Family Search Indexing that we have all the great records on Pilot.
That's wonderful. Well, that's one of the things I wanted you to hear from Evva was that, she's an expert there at the Family History Library, but they are looking for you to get involved and to contribute.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of something we're all in it together.
Absolutely.
So wonderful. Well, I think you've given us a lot of encouragement. Now we know for Irish research, at least, that there are some definite avenues that we can pursue. And I hope that when we get a chance to meet you again at another Family History Expo, because it sounds like your classes have been very popular and it's certainly an ongoing need. So thanks so much for stopping by and giving us some of your tips.
Thank you for having me.